Today, we are going to be talking about probably my least favorite class of hero inside the entire game of Watcher of Realms to do reviews, showcases, guides, or builds on, because there's not really a whole fucking lot that I can do, and that's going to be healers. So we're going to be talking about what I think is one of the most forgotten healers inside the entire game. And we're also going to be talking about why I think she's still very much worth building, booking, and potentially awakening if you have multiple copies of her. Now, that being said, unless you have her A5 already, you should be awakening her. That's completely up to you. If you want to sell her and save for a soul stone instead, Bob's your uncle, right? We're going to be talking about Aylin. Aylin's been in the game forever, and the sentiment around her a long time ago, at least when I started playing, which is what, over 2 years ago now, which is crazy, is that she wasn't that good, right? And she's never really been reworked a crazy amount or anything like that. She's really just fallen into a place inside the meta, but especially when it comes to YouTube, there's still a lot of videos and stuff out there that are kind of down hard on her. So I want to talk about her and really just showcase how good she is. Now, that being said, in the video I recorded just before this, I mentioned this as well, but I've been feeling a little bit under the weather lately. So if I'm pausing or if I'm thinking or those sorts of things, you'll just have to bear with me, and I'll see if we can get through this together. Let's go ahead and talk about her. First of all, she's an AoE healer with team protection at a 6 cost. So she's already a specialist, right? The only other healers that are that low of a cost are going to be somebody like a Diao Chan or, of course, a Dolores, who it's kind of hilarious that we've now forgotten about Dolores completely since Diao Chan was introduced into the game, but it is what it is. But yeah, 6 cost healer, absolutely insane stuff. Let's take a look at her skills. First of all, she has a talent where she receives 1 stack of Divine Moonlight. What does this do? Well, it increases base healing by 1% every 1 second, stacking up to 50 times. So she's going to get a increase to her base healing of 1% every second up to 50 times, right? So it goes all the way up to a 50% increase. This is while she's on the field. It's pretty good stuff. She has a very, very good range. So I believe this is Awakened Diao Chan range, right? Actually more than Diao Chan range. So she's got like a really weird range where it's basically like 2 tiles in every direction, and she gives attack based healing, and then she's kind of right in the middle, so you can plop her down where you need her to be, where you need some heals, where you need some survivability, and she's going to keep people alive. Now let's take a look at her Lunar Haven passive. When Divine Moonlight, so her talent reaches 20 stacks, so 20 seconds, increases healing multiplier by 20%. Additionally, allies in range will receive 15% less damage, and this is really what helps make her special. Damage mitigation inside Watcher of Realms is huge right now in the meta, basically everywhere, because you need to have heroes that can keep you alive for Matrix, heroes that can keep you alive for Abyss, heroes that can keep you alive for PvP. She doesn't really have a PvP scene where she specializes right now, but you get what I mean. And there's not really many other units that can do this. So you have Narissa, you have Pharisee, you have Aylin, and not really a whole lot else, to be honest, especially when it comes to healers, right? So she can be a potentially good unit to slot in there. Additionally, just to prove her usability, if we go over to the guild, if we go to Drake's Chasm and then Abyss, in the world rankings, you're going to see her in so many of these teams. I'm sure now that I'm trying to showcase it, I won't see her in like any of the teams, but as you can see already, starting team 4, we have an A3 Aylin. And then basically every team after that, we have Ailen as well, just because she's so damn good at helping keep you alive based on that alone. So already, her kit is very solid with just a basic attack, her cost, and her talent, right? But it gets better, ladies and gentlemen. So Solidarity passive for everyone allied targets in range increases the base healing by 3% and acquires 3 additional stacks of Divine Moonlight. So she's going to stack this stuff up even higher, which of course is going to give her a better healing effect. Now, let's talk about her ultimate, which without question is going to be the easiest way to keep people alive, right? This is one of the strongest heals in the entire game. So the Area of Moon, this is 1,000 cost on a 600 base, so you only need to work up 400 rage. When triggered, increases the hero's healing multiplier by 100%, so it doubles her healing multiplier and speeds up heals by 100% for 20 seconds. So essentially she's going to be attacking twice as fast or healing twice as fast, and she's going to be healing for twice as much during her ultimate. Her ultimate's absolutely insane. This is how, like I said, this is how you keep people alive, right? Is when you trigger this area of Moon, and she's going to absolutely just help you out heal so much damage. So for example, in Abyss, she's crucial to making sure that you can survive some of the I don't know if you really want to call it waves or the onslaughts that the dragon is summoning to try and kill you. She can help make that so much easier to survive. Specifically, the meteoric deluge, I think it's called, is a very, very big place for her to shine. Now, in terms of the build, I do have her inside Invigoration, and I do have her inside Light's Grace. So two very strong healing sets, obviously. If you had Wings of Grace, that would be a little bit better. She's in attack bonus, attack speed, and HP bonus on the right-hand side. These are her overall stats: 33,000 HP, almost 11,000 attack. She's going to have 453 on the speed, which brings her down to a nice little 1 second interval. And then she has 121 healing effects. And keep in mind, she's boosting that and gaining multipliers on that while she's on the field. I have her in a maxed out Golden Scarab as well, which has not been augmented at all, so I'm actually going to go ahead and do that a little bit, see if we can get some good augmentations on here for her. I do have plenty of the gems available, so it just simply makes sense to do that. I don't have any of the runic ones available though, so unfortunately she won't be getting a new substat on there. Golden Scarab's going to be the best way to build her, I think. She does have an exclusive as well, where she permanently gains invisibility and increases her attack speed by 50. So if you're really struggling for attack speed, if she's getting hit and people are targeting her, she can also benefit from the invisibility. That being said though, if you're in a situation where that's the case, first of all, she's a healer. She should be tanky enough to heal herself back up. And second of all, this is going to be 60 seconds after deployment. So you're going to be waiting a long time for that to take effect. Anyways, Euphoric Orb could also be very good, where she's going to increase the attack speed of other heroes inside her range. You've seen how crazy her range is. She can definitely make it happen. Obviously, the Elysian Epitaph is not going to be good on her because, you know, she does a lot of AoE heals. If you have a Taya's Bomb could be very good on her. And then if you really just need healing ASAP, and if you want to have her as kind of like a little place her down, Energizer Bunny style, and make sure that people get healed, you can go ahead and place a Tumultuous Horn on her. Of course, if you have the Tumultuous Horn maxed out, she's going to instantly be able to deploy her ultimate when she's placed as well. Keen Wisdom is also going to be pretty good. You know, there's a lot of things that you can use on her. When it comes to the gear, right-hand side, you're really looking for Wings of Grace or Invigoration. Those are going to be the best sets without question. If you're looking for heals, Ashlepis can be good for that too. I'm sure that's probably not how you say it, but that's how I'm going to say it. So Ashlepis is going to be a good way to go. For the left-hand side, as you can probably guess, Light's Grace is going to be pretty much the best in slot. Life Force is also decent. Whirlwind is decent. Life Giver's okay if you're early game. There's a lot of good options. And then, of course, Salvation as well for extra healing effect if you need it on her. That being said, I wouldn't necessarily focus on healing effect for Aylin, because you're more so just depending on her ultimate to do the actual crucial healing part, which is why you always see her paired with like a Pharisee, or you see her paired with a Narissa. You need heals besides her to get through a lot of this content. She can just burst the hell out of your heals with her ultimate. And then, of course, obviously her passive, where she's bringing you more survivability, is a huge part of her kit as well. So let's go ahead and let's go into the dragon here, and we're just going to bring in some other damage dealing units. So we're going to bring in either some fighters or some marksmen, and we're just going to show you what she's capable of. So we'll kind of bring a little bit of a good mix of both. We're not really looking for, you know, crazy damages or anything like that. We're more so just looking to show how she can keep people alive. Ideally, some people will get damaged, and I'll be able to burst with her ultimate as well, and you can see how crazy her healing is. Like I mentioned, it's annoying to try and do any sort of showcase for, obviously, healers, because, you know, there's not much to show off, right? You kind of just show them healing somebody, and then that's their whole kit. So It is what it is. We're going to go ahead and do some placing here, though, so something like this. And as you can see, her range is absolutely insane. Like, look at this. Like, if you place her in this spot, you can basically get the same coverage out of her that you get out of somebody like a Hollow, which is insane, right? So she's going to go down there and really just start to pay attention to how effectively she keeps everybody healed up. It is pretty cool to see. So she's going to heal everybody up, right? 5,600 heal per pop, it looks like, is what she's doing there. So 6,200, and she does very, very good AoE heals as well. So she's not a single target healer, which helps out a ton, because a lot of times if you're in content where you're trying to push it and your gear is not quite where it needs to be or something like that, you're going to be struggling simply because too many people are getting hit for your healers to handle it. But she does AoE, so she can help keep so many people alive. We're going to go ahead and do the burst here. So you can see how quick her heals are coming in, right? With that base multiplier reduced. I'm going to go ahead and pop everybody's ultimate. Of course, we're going to take down the shield with no problem. We have, like, all damage dealers here, so it is what it is. But like I say, like, we're keeping everybody at full health, so it's probably a bad time to showcase it because, nobody's actually needing to get healed. But you get the general idea. So we're going to go ahead and quit the battle here. Almost nobody left full HP that entire round, which is pretty cool. And then if we look at HP healed, obviously she got almost 1 million healed on her own. Silas came in with some good heals as well. That's specifically because he has the Ichor Chalice, so it's not because Silas is somehow a crazy healer. It's because the Ichor Chalice does count as heals for himself. Now, we'll go ahead and we will do an auto fight, which I can't do actually, but we'll go ahead and just do kind of a play test here inside Abyss. I'll show you my Abyss team essentially. You can take a look at it. This Abyss team is hitting about 22k pretty consistently, so you don't need to feel free to copy it because it's not the best Abyss team by any means, but it is an Abyss team. It's an Abyss team of all time, so take that into consideration. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time since I've played through Abyss, so I don't exactly remember all the intricacies of this team, if I'm being completely honest, but I'm sure we will get it. So we'll place Vixera there. I really wish that I had like a... Obviously, I wish that I had a... I wish I had an A5 Kagiri. I was trying to think there. My current Kagiri does good damage, obviously, but if I had a higher Awakening Kagiri, it would be a lot easier. We have big damage coming in here, so we're going to pop Aylin, and then you can see everybody kind of just instantly bursting back up to full health. So she is absolutely freaking nuts, people, when it comes to out healing any sort of damage, right? She's going to help you out so much. As you can see, we have the Sun Wukong coming in there too, working on bursting down the shield. We just had the burst come out from the dragon, but we're going to pop our Kagiri there as well, get some damage from him, and then we'll be going over to the second form here right away. Obviously, if you have stronger gear, if you have stronger awakenings, and certainly if you have stronger heroes, you'll have a better time with this. Now, that being said, I don't have bad heroes by any means, right? Like, this is kind of the exact team that you'd want to be running. The only thing is that I'd want Nastia in here instead of Vixera, obviously, and then this team would be significantly improved, or at least that's what I keep telling myself, but I'm sure I can do better on this account anyway, so it is what it is. The Seismic Slam is coming in. We're going to go ahead and pop Aylin. As you can see, everybody stays at nice and full HP. Once the Meteoric Deluge comes in, that's where we're going to go ahead and pop our Kagiri as well. So there we go. We're going to pop everybody there. So, and then we'll have our Numera come in here when the ultimate pops. We'll pop Sun Wukong as well, just for that like extra 32 damage that we'll get from him. That's going to be a big game changer, I'm sure, right? The dragon is going to switch over here to the next form, and then as you can see, it kind of is very much the Kagiri show. Like, Kagiri is doing twice the damage of anyone else on this team, which is just absolutely nuts. Kagiri is absolutely insane. We're going to go ahead and quit the battle, though. I'm not interested in running through this to completion. I already have the auto fight and everything like that saved up, but if we look at HP healed, it's insane. right? So we have Draylin, who's coming in at 1.4 million, which is pretty good. We have Pharisee, who's coming in at 1.4 million. And then we have Aylin, who's coming in at 4.1 million. What is that? Like well over triple, well, like almost quadruple the healing of any other healer on that particular team. Ladies and gentlemen, she is absolutely insane. Let's go ahead and walk through giving her some ratings here. So Titanic Ruins a 5, Immortal Codex a 5, Void Rift 100% a 5, Malrix Halls a 5, Guild Wars, I think she's going to be probably a 4. She doesn't really have like cheat death mechanics or anything like that, but again, with that healing burst, I'm honestly going to put her as a 5. Same thing for Gear Dungeon 2. Tower of Deception, she's going to be an absolute 5. Faction Trial, absolute 5. Gear Dungeon, 5. Drake's Chasm, 5. I'm honestly shocked to see how low some of these ratings are getting. We will give her a 4 in Tide, just because, you know, she doesn't have the highest BP scaling or anything like that. Gear Raid 3, a huge thing with her is even on my account with my strategy, I put down an airless because I want the rage regen. But if you can't afford to put down an airless, if you just need bodies out on the floor, she can go down with her 6 cost instead. Single target arena is not really her area. Same thing with AoE. XP raid, don't really need her. Same thing for gear raid, or gold raid, sorry, and an anti-air DPS arena. She's also not going to be too crucial, but I think those are very fair ratings. Just to call it out as well, she is part of the Infernal Blast team. So if you are lucky enough to have a Soul Cadence, you can run a Soul Cadence team inside Abyss, which is absolutely fantastic. Even if you just have a Pyros and you're trying to get through, you know, the first chest of Abyss, or if you're trying to get through Nightmare 4 in a Drake's Chasm, she's going to help you a lot there and be very, very serviceable for those purposes. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. Let me know down below if you use Aylin, where you use her, and how you have her built. My Discord's also linked down below, of course, so go ahead and hop in there if you want to talk about the game, or, you know, share some lucky pulls, all that sort of good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.